material closeout store. 2191 Northwest 10th Street, just 2 miles east of I-75.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
What do you think of when I say crepe myrtles? Well, you should say Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, because that's where you'll find Florida's biggest and best selection of crepe myrtles at the lowest prices. Just take a look, starting with the nice number 4 size, more than a dozen colors, starting at just $29.99. All the way up to the huge number 15 size for $3.99. Buy one, get one at half price, delivered, planted, and guaranteed. And of course, how about azaleas? Dwarf, ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas are still priced at a super low $3.99 each. Bush daisies and more are all on BOGO, buy one, get one free. Come see for yourself for super savings all over this beautiful 5-acre garden. Bob Wines on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4:30, Saturdays till 3. Soon celebrating 70 years in the same blooming location.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks on a Thursday. You know, we were just talking about books that are looking to be banned or are on a list to be reviewed to be banned. And Volusia County, really, when I saw that, I went, huh? Because they removed a book about Rosa Parks. The book is called Rosa Parks by Eloise Greenfield. They removed it, but they put it back in schools now. But I was like, why would you remove that book? Well, the district temporarily pulled the state-approved book from classrooms. They put it back after a teacher complained about the content. Volusia County United Educators president explained to the New Jersey that a teacher voiced concerns to the union about how a parent might react if she sent the book, which points out the harm that the Klan and Jim Crow laws did to black people, homeless students. And see, this is why we have people pushing for critical race theory. For this kind of situation right here. Because they don't feel like the school system is doing an adequate job explaining the history and the plight of the African American people in this country.
Yeah, I agree.
If you taught about Rosa Parks, you wouldn't have to teach critical race theory. Because she is part of the whole, if you believe there's systemic racism in this country, Rosa Parks stood up to that systemic racism. Mm-hmm. You know, and so the fact that you tell the story, like one of my favorite movies is Barbershop. Yeah. You know, with Cedric the Entertainer. Yeah. And Cedric the Entertainer said it the best, and I use this in my classroom settings when I taught history. I would use this. I would on the day, and we would talk about Rosa Parks for a whole class. Because she's the mother of the civil rights movement.
Yeah, I learned about Rosa Parks.
Right, in 1955, Rosa Parks, like Cedric the Entertainer said, and I would say this in my classroom. In 1955, Rosa Parks became the mother of the civil rights movement. She became the face until Martin Luther King took over. She was the face of the civil rights movement. Not because she wanted to be. Right. Like Cedric the Entertainer says, Rosa Parks didn't do nothing but sit her tired black ass down.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And she was a housekeeper. She didn't want to, she was tired. She said to the man, "Sir, I'm tired. I can't get up and move to the back of the bus. I'm tired." You know, she didn't want to be the face of civil rights. It just so happened that she was. But you need to teach about Rosa Parks so you can know that at one time, if a white person wanted a seat, You know how men, a gentleman is thought to be gentlemanly if he gets up and gives his seat to a lady somewhere.
Right.
There was a time in this country where black folks were required to get up and give their seat to a white person
Yep.
or face retribution. There was a time when the back of the bus wasn't a cool place to sit.
No.
There was a time when there was 2 sets of water fountains.
Yep.
There was a time when there was bathrooms for white people and outhouses the black people used in public settings.
Yep.
All that is history.
It's all part of things that happen
But
in this country.
if you refuse to teach, but it put the Klan in a bad light. The Klan were bad people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to put them in a bad light.
They didn't give due process to a lot of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay? That's just fact. And the fact that we are worried about sending a book home that may teach that, that's why you got all these people that say critical race theory needs to be taught.
Mm-hmm.
That reason right there. This story out of Daytona, and they put the book subsequently back in. But the fact that a teacher was worried how parents may react to a book that didn't put the Klan in a good light. Hello, there wasn't no damn good light for them to be in.
No. And who is this teacher?
Well, the teacher wasn't worried. She wasn't a supremacist or anything. She was worried about the retribution she'd face from parents for sending this book home for kids to learn from.
Right.
That there would be that one parent, that lives out in a single wide out in the middle of the woods,
Right.
feeding his kids hot dogs and macaroni because that's all he can afford on his white trash budget because he makes sure he's got tattoos and meth, but he ain't feeding his kids. Might get upset that the Klan wasn't really thought of in good stature in this book. Who the hell cares what the meth head thinks?
Exactly.
But this teacher was worried about it. And that's why I got out of education. I got out of education not because of kids, not because of curriculum, not because of administration. I got out of teaching because of parents and how the dynamic had changed in education where the teacher and parents no longer had a good relationship. The parents always said, not my kid, but you must be the problem.
Yeah.
That didn't happen when I was a kid. When I was a kid, the school called home. My mom would say, wear his ass out there, and when he gets home, I'm going to do it. Okay? So that changed. The dynamics changed. So this teacher was genuinely concerned that they may face retribution for sending this type of literature home.
That's just sad.
So that's why they raised concerns about it. But that's the type of reason why you have professors of African American studies and professors of sociology and all demanding you teach critical race theory.
Yeah, because we can't just erase history. We can't.
Whether you like it
history.
or not, folks, the African American community was not really highly thought of for a very long time in this country.
Yeah.
Okay, remember the great emancipator. I keep reminding all my Republican brethren that want to run to Abraham Lincoln. Remember the great emancipator, he still thought he was better than all the black people.
Yep.
Because he's a white man. He still, at that time in the 1860s, he still thought the blacks were inferior to him. He just didn't think that anybody should own another human being. He didn't think those humans were equal to him. He just didn't think they should be in chains and own like cattle.
Right.
He literally sent groups of people to an entourage to go get a place called Liberia in Africa to create. He wanted the United States to fund a place called Liberia to send all the free slaves back to Africa. Yeah, the great emancipator was such a racist that he wanted to send all the blacks back to where they came from. That's fact. Tom, he did. Yes, he did. But if you teach that properly, you understand the plight that the blacks had. If you teach it history properly, you understand the plight the Italians had. If you teach race properly, you understand the plight the Chinese had when they came over here. If you teach history properly. Now, without a doubt, the African American community, the ancestors of a lot of the African American community, had a much tougher life than the Italians, the Irish, the Chinese. But people say, well, Tom, okay, I'll give you the Chinese, the Italians, and the Irish were indentured servants. But after 7, 8 years, they could have their freedom. That wasn't an option for the blacks. But if we teach it properly, all that's covered. How the indentured Asians built the railway system in this country. They didn't have a choice. If they didn't build it, they got beat. How the Irish that came over here because they were starving to death from a famine got taken huge advantage of by the people that were already here. You know, it's well documented that the Dutch bought African tribes from other African tribes and then brought them to the West Indies and sold them as slaves that then went to work on plantations in the South. If you teach all that, there's no reason to teach critical race theory. There's no reason to constantly try to beat people over the head with systemic racism, because you know there's racism and always has been, because history tells you that.
Yep.
But banning books like this is the exact. You want to stop people from going on the TV and radio and complaining about systemic racism and how it's not taught and critical race theory needs to be taught and everything. You want to stop all of that shenanigans. Teach history. And it all goes away.
Teach all of history.
All of history.
All of history.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
If it's good enough for Eastwood and Lee Van Cleef and Eli, it's good enough for everybody. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
We'll be back to wrap up a Thursday edition of Ocala Talks. After this time out, you listen to 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA. The Source.
Blockers Furniture is having a truckload sale. Right now, you can save 20% on sofas and love seats when you mention radio. Blockers' 80,000 square foot showroom is home to the largest in-stock selection of living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, unique furniture accents, outdoor furniture, and more. That means you can take your furniture home that same day or have it delivered. Check out the Blockers Sleep Gallery, too. They carry a huge selection of mattresses, including all the name brands you love. Blockers Furniture Truckload Sale. 2402 Southwest College Road, Ocala, next to Hobby Lobby. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
Hey there, Congresswoman Kat Kamak here, your conservative voice in our nation's capital. I'm so proud to be an advocate for the over 65,000 veterans here in North Central Florida. The new Ocala VA Clinic is now open, providing important primary care and specialty services. If you're a veteran in the Ocala area, thank you for your service. Feel free to get in touch with our team by visiting us online at camac.house.gov. I'm Kat Kamak, and it is my honor to serve you.
This ad is paid for by official funds authorized by the U.S. House of Representatives.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros. Trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck. Howdy, folks. RL here for Dairy Queen again to tell you about what's hot and what's not. Dairy Queen has some of the best char-grilled chicken breasts on earth, as well as their chicken breast salad. And the burgers are exceptional, cooked on a real grill for the best flavor and less fat. And for dessert, blizzards are unequaled. Personally, banana split is my all-time favorite. Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
While we may disagree a lot, we do agree Rural King's our favorite place for spring planting.
Yeah, but we've got to focus. Roses, a couple flats of impatiens, and a spade.
A shovel? I'm thinking tiller.
We do not need a tiller.
Wait, a mower. Those new zero turns are sweet.
Focus. Roses, mulch, shovel, impatiens.
Jeez, talk about impatient.
Can I help you?
Yeah, chainsaws.
Let's go.
I'm almost done mowing this section.
Ridiculous.
The Ocala Golf Club, one of Ocala's premier golf courses, from its pristine 18-hole course layout to its amazing pro shop. Jason Linhart and the staff at Ocala Golf offer everything that you need for your golf outing. That's the Ocala Golf Club. Experience country club style golf at municipal prices. You won't go wrong with the Ocala Golf Club. Call them for a tee time today, 352-401-6917.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Are you suffering from neck, back, or leg pain? Go Green CBD Store can help you with holistic, all-natural, lab-tested products that help with pain, stress, anxiety, inflammation, PTSD, and so much more. We stock smokable products, gummies, chocolate, coffee, tea, even pain cream. Yes, we even have treats and oils for your dogs or cats. Go Green CBD is located in the Paddock Mall in the center court. We're open every day. Come in today for a free sample.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks as we wrap up a Thursday edition. Yeah, I know, folks. Sometimes I get on my soapbox when I'm talking about education and history and everything, and I got a good grasp of one subject. I got a really, really good grasp of one subject. It happens to be history. So when I get on my soapbox, I had a man. I had a man one time when I was doing the afternoon show here called The Voice of Ocala, and we were talking about something, and he's a very liberal man. He wrote in an email and told me I was the most racist person, uneducated, racist bigot he'd ever heard.
Oh, my God.
Because of something I'd said about slavery. And so the next day I showed up, to the show, hot.
I'm sure.
And it's on my Facebook page and everything. I went into a 30-minute soapbox explaining to him that, because I said I love the South and everything, and he said, well, that's racist and everything. And so I had to show him that there were slaves in Massachusetts, that the largest slave owner in the country was in southern Illinois, which wasn't in the South. So, I love people that are ignorant about certain subjects, that want to challenge people who aren't ignorant about certain subjects. Good morning, you're on Ocala Talks.
Good morning, Tom.
Morning, Sonny.
You talk about history. It was the North, I guess at that time they were known as the Northmen, not Norse, but Northmen,
right?
Who discovered Iceland. And at that time, it was the world was in a cold climate, so they named it Iceland.
Yes.
And the year 800 through 1200, the Northmen, or Norsemen at that time, Vikings, Eric the Red, and like that, they discovered Greenland.
Yes.
Well, during that time of history, there was unusual climate change. It was warm.
So they named it Greenland because it was very green.
Yeah, but look at it today. You know, there's a few towns there, but the Norse actually built towns and farms and everything.
Oh, yeah.
They were raising cattle and sheep in Greenland.
Yep.
Until the weather changed again and became, unbearable for them. So they left. And where did they go? They went to Nova Scotia, through there,
New
down
Brunswick,
to Martha's Vineyard,
New
and all
Brunswick.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
But, everybody says, according to history, Columbus discovered America. No, he didn't. It was Americus Vespucci.
Columbus discovered discovered the Caribbean islands.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, our history isn't always accurate, is what I'm getting at.
No, it's not always taught accurately.
People
yes.
are yelling about our climate change, and yeah, climate changes. All you have to do is look at the sun and measure the UV rays coming out of the sun. UV rays is what heats everything up.
Look.
When it hits whatever, it actually makes it warm.
Sonny, you're right about that. Mother Nature knows what she's doing. And, she takes care of herself. I'm up against it, Sonny. I got to get to birthdays, but thanks for the call. Thanks for the call. But, yeah, Sonny's, when people that say, first they said it was global warming. Now they've changed that to climate change. And they say that we're responsible for it. Now, look, 100 years of cars, autos, and everything, it's helped hasten along the warming of the climate, or however you want to look at it. But this is factual science. The eruption of one volcano puts as much carbon dioxide in the air as a year of automobiles in Los Angeles. One volcanic eruption. We, as humans, hadn't done a whole lot to help the process. But we ain't damaged it near as much as people would like you to think we have. Because Mother Nature damages herself. Well, Tom, the polar caps are melting. Yeah, because I can show you through history, archaeology, how we're coming out of an ice age for the 5th time in the Earth's history. The Earth melts, then it goes to hell in a handbasket, it refreezes and starts all over again. Archaeologically, I could show you that that's happened 4 separate times over the 6 million years that we have found that the Earth has been here. Did the 100 years of us living as 7 billion people and not taking care of the environment with chemicals and everything in it hasten that process along? I'm sure it did. But it's inevitable it was going to happen. I can show you where it's happened 4 other times. Volcanoes erupt, block the sun, Earth freezes, ice age starts, melts out, starts all over again. So, but once again, that's telling history correctly. And people who are in charge don't want history told correctly. They want history told the way that keeps them in power. That's the design of the people in power. They only want history taught that keeps them in power. And that's been the same since the beginning of time, too. That's the reason why the Roman emperors didn't want scholars to write history without them checking it, their minions checking it first to make sure it was good. That's why Hitler wouldn't allow anything to be written that he didn't okay, his officers didn't okay, because he was in power and wanted to stay there. But if you teach history without any preconceptions, you just teach it for what it is, history, you can accomplish a whole lot. Oh, man. A Chinook has landed here at the airport, and it just shook the whole place.
I was wondering what that was.
That's a big old Chinook landing right there. Hey, let's get to birthdays. First, we'll talk about this day in history. And this day in history, in a very long time ago, if I can get to it real quick, I'll tell you exactly when. 1789. 3 different movies have been made about this event. Fletcher Christian got a bunch of people on his boats to mutiny against Captain Bligh, and on Pitcairn Island, which is just off the coast of Australia. And that led to, it led to some changes in how the English did their naval vessels and everything. There were regulations put in because it was paramount to slavery pretty much on an English boat when you were in the English Navy. But the Mutiny on the Bounty by Fletcher Christian and his cohorts led to changes in the way maritime naval vessels were handled in England. And 3 movies were made of it. Clark Gable was starred in one as Fletcher Christian. Marlon Brando started one as Fletcher Christian. And Mel Gibson started one as Fletcher Christian, all about Mutiny on the Bounty. It took place April 28th of 1789. Let's get the birthdays today. Anne Margaret is 81 today. Jay Leno is 72 today. Bridget Moynihan from Blue Blood, she's 51 today. Jorge Garcia, he is 49 today. Penelope Cruz, she's 48 today. And Jessica Alba is 41 years young today. Thanks to all my listeners, all my callers, all my sponsors. For intern Natalie, I'm Tom Schmitz. You've been listening to Ocala Talks. We do it every day at this time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 11 on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Talk to you tomorrow, folks.
This is WOCA AM, W242 CAFM, Ocala, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The U.S. economy took a turn backwards in the first 3 months of this year. The Commerce Department on Thursday reported the gross domestic product shrank by 1.4%. Experts were expecting a small growth. Chris Zaccarelli, Chief Investment Officer for the Independent Advisor Alliance, said today's shock drop of the GDP is a wake-up call if the economy is not as strong as we all thought, end quote. Department of Homeland Security Secretary is Cuban-born Alejandro Mayorkas. He's being grilled by lawmakers this week as his job to secure the U.S.-Mexico border has been unsuccessful. President Trump's wall would have been completed by now had President Biden not stopped the project. Mr. Mayorkas on Wednesday.
We inherited a broken and dismantled system that is already under strain. It is not built to manage the current levels and types of migratory flows. Only Congress can fix this.